Hi, I'm Underbird92, and thank you for joining me for this exclusive interview detailing one man's rise to prominence in an online racing league in 2005. This man's story begins in 2003 when he bravely ventured out of his parents' basement, virtually of course, to take on such legendary sim racers as AG Racer 9, FSB Banks, and Dank Nugs 420. This man claims to have records of every online race he ran from 2003 to 2005. In one of the most prestigious NR 2003 leagues of all time, this man claims to have a better win percentage than Jeff Gordon in '98 and a better career short track winning percentage than Rusty Wallace in '93. This man is Slidejob Jr.
Hey, Slidejob, thanks for being here.
Whoa, what's going on with your voice, man?
Well, I noticed our voices sound almost identical, so I thought this AI voice changer would help the viewer differentiate between us.
That don't sound good. I'd pick a different one.
Is this one better?
No, they all sound horrible. Can you make your voice sound like Bob Jenkins or John Kernan or something? If not, I'd just go back to your regular voice. Okay, hopefully no one gets confused. So I see STP on your shirt. Were you sponsored by them when you were sim racing? Sponsored? Nobody sponsored sim racers back then. I just sewed this patch on this shirt when I dressed up like Richard Petty for Halloween that one year. Tell us about your famous ride. Yeah, man, I never really painted cars back then. I just downloaded cars off the internet. Except in NASCAR Racing 1 when they had that cool Pepsi logo and you could just put that Pepsi logo on the car and it was really easy to do. Oh yeah. Nailed it. Other than that, I never messed with cars until I joined these leagues and had to make my own. I got it right here on the computer. So, of course, I always ran a Dodge. That was just mandatory back then, especially since my man Jimmy Spencer was in a Dodge at the time. So then on the back we got ASU here where I was going to college. We got the Sublime license plate because Sublime is Sublime and they're awesome. You got the Sahara up here, Sahara Casino in Las Vegas. Great casino, but I guess they tore it down or something years ago. I don't know why. My main sponsor was Manzanita Speedway. Manzanita Speedway was one of my favorite places to hang out. I used to go there every weekend just to watch the dirt track races in Phoenix. We got Arizona Race Mart there as the associate. Then we got Incubus here on the deck lid. Then we got the Pantera logo. Here on the pillar we got the tool wrench. Anyone who likes tools is going to know that wrench. Oh yeah, she looks good. Man, it's been a long time since I've seen this car. I'll never forget having to stop right in front of Sparky there. So how many leagues did you race in? I raced a few leagues. Alabama Gang in 2003. I raced Cyber Cup in 2004. And then I raced FSB in 2005. Can you share with us about your time in the Alabama Gang? The Alabama Gang was a pretty cool league, except that it was open setup. So AG Racer 9 knew setups and he would win like every race. Then you'd get in the race and in the chat people would say, loose is fast. And so everyone would make their cars all loose and the second the race started, everyone spun out. I remember racing at Daytona and it was impossible trying to get through the race without wrecking. Even if it wasn't your fault, people were just wrecking all around you. There's nothing you could do. I still did the best I could though. I did get one win with the Alabama Gang. But that was at Papyrus Motorsports Park. Well, I guess a win is a win, huh? So how was Cyber Cup? Now, Cyber Cup racing was a lot cooler. That was after the PWF mod had come out, so they had a truck series along with the Cup series, which was cool. I did all right in the Cyber Cup series, and I won my first real race at Bristol. I always preferred racing on the short tracks. Most people weren't very good at them, but at Daytona, it didn't matter whether you were good or not. Anyone can hit the gas and turn left. Why did you prefer FSB racing? See, FSB would always stress racing clean and sportsmanship and stuff like that. See, they had this program called TeamSpeak, which was kind of like Discord 20 years ago. During the race, we could talk to each other and say, like, hey, I'm getting ready to pit, or hey, pass me on the inside, or, it just made the races so much cleaner and so much more fun to race. Did you participate in the preseason races? Yeah, I ran 4 of them and won 3. The only one I didn't win was at this French track called Lemons. It was one of those where you had to turn right. Yeah, that's just not my style, You mentioned before the interview that the Loudon race was a highlight. Do you care to share about it? Yeah, I remember that Loudon race. I think I started pretty close to the front. As the race went on, all the other drivers were just spinning each other out, just tearing up their tires. Not me, man. I had been practicing that race all week. So I went out there, took care of my tires for the first couple laps while everyone was on fresh tires. And then once their tires went away, I just took off. At some point, I was about 10 seconds in the lead. No problem. I thought for a second I was going to lap the field. Then at some point, I heard some guy come over TeamSpeak and say something like, "Hey, what's Slide doing up there?" And then a guy who had already knocked himself out of the race answered back and said, "Guys, I'm watching him on the replay, and he's just hitting his marks every single time." That was the best compliment I'd ever gotten at the time. I had been practicing that race for a week or 2 leading up to it. So of course I was hitting my marks every time. So what was the outcome of that race at Loudon? Is that one of the races you won? Man, I don't remember exactly what happened, but I ended up getting second to Dickweed. I imagine some other guy's car just warped into mine and I ended up in the wall or something. So you had won 8 of the 18 races you entered. You were certain to be the truck champion that season. Why did you leave? I was busy with a lot of really important social functions, like hanging out in the Dale Jr. party bus and hanging out in the nightclub at Phoenix International Raceway and bugging race attendants to take selfies with me and making margaritas with gas-powered blenders. Like really important social functions like that. Eventually you learned your time in FSB was not without some scandal. Do you remember that? Yeah, I remember that. It was about 6 months after my last race with them. Went on TeamSpeak one night, and the guy who ran FSB at the time was just hanging out in the chat room by himself. So I gave him a voice call, and I was like, "Hey man, what's up?" And he's like, "Yo, is this slidejob?" And I was like, "Yeah man, it's slidejob." And he's like, "Man, where you been?" So we got to talking, and I was like, "Man, I'm so disappointed I didn't get to finish the season with you guys. I was having a great time, and I was doing really well." And he said, "Oh man, it's probably best that you left when you did." And I said, "What do you mean by that?" He goes, "Well, some of the other drivers were wanting me to kick you out of the league for cheating." That's right, cheating. Was Slidejob Jr. a cheater? It was a scandal that rocked the nation. Or at least 2 or 3 people. Okay, this is your chance to set the record straight. Did you cheat? I swear to you, I never cheated in that game back then. What I did do was practice. Just practice, practice, practice. And that's why I won all those races. And win races he did. In an online sim racing career that spanned 3 years and included 3 different leagues, Slidejob Jr. started 45 races and posted 4 poles, 10 wins, 22 top 5s, 33 top 10s, and 7 DNFs. It's been almost 20 years to the day since your last race at FSB. Have you put this scandal behind you now? Oh yeah, man. FSB racing was the best. I loved racing in that league. They do everything on iRacing now, but if I was ever going to do some iRacing, that's definitely the league I'd want to be in. Plus, they gave me permission to use their logo in my video. Your video, our video. If you go to their records and stats page and click on the Sportsman Cup Series, there I am right there with 1 win. And right below that in the Sportsman Truck Series, there I am again with 4 wins. I don't know what that asterisk is for though, and they didn't seem to count my preseason victories. Just one more question for you. Did you ever race in the Open Lobbies? Oh man, those Open Lobby races were a nightmare. First, it was always just restrictor plates. Daytona and Talladega on a loop constantly. And we're talking 2003 internet here. It wasn't the greatest. The second the race started, cars start blinking out and start warping all over the track. You hit the gas and you didn't know if you were clear or if some guy was just going to magically appear in front of you and wreck the whole field. The worst part about it is that in every race there was always some clown who would just park his car sideways in the middle of the track and wait for the full field to come around and then cause an even bigger wreck. Man, that was ridiculous. I definitely never did anything like that. Slidejob Jr. Talented online sim racer or gamer with questionable integrity? I intended to get some answers, though I'm afraid I'm only left with more questions. This is Underbird 92. Thanks for joining me.